If you clicked on this video, chances are you're a young guy who's in school or even at university, and you're trying to, navigate that pathway and find your true purpose and see ultimately if school or even university are even like viable options for you. And that is why in this video I'm going to be talking about why school might be important for you. And before I get into it, if you wanted to know my stance on school, I believe that school has the wrong curriculum. Someone who's gone through school completely now in university. I think that, yeah, school has the wrong curriculum. Because if you really look at the history of it, like, you might realize that there are wrong motives placed that are hidden in the curriculum. Because if you look at the history of our school curriculum that most people have to go through in the whole entire world, it actually derives from the Prussian school system. And that Prussian school system was the same system that was made in order to make soldiers that obey orders from their generals, and they use that system to make a slave-like army in order to defeat their enemies. So if this is the same school system that we're using today, then what might that suggest? Maybe it is intended to make slaves. They just give you the work. You have to get it done by the deadline, and there's consequences if you don't get it done. And that's about it. You don't really learn many, many, many life skills that will actually serve you in real life, but you just learn to hand stuff in on time and like follow due dates from your generals, I guess teachers. Yeah, but with that said, most people are still going to have to go through that school system even if it's not university. So I think the best thing I could do is tell you a lot of the important things that you can still get from school while you're there anyways. So the first benefit that I see that school can give you is time management. And this might be the most obvious one. Like you're loaded with pressure, especially in your higher years, and you just learn to cope with it and get a lot of work done in a little amount of time. It just helps you deal with a lot of pressure, and the more you do, the more pressure you can handle in a little amount of time. And it teaches you how to be efficient, and that's something that you can use in every aspect of your life, whether you do end up going to university or doing a career that's a 9 to 5, or you start a business, or whatever it is. Time management will definitely serve you for the better in whatever you want to do later in life. The second benefit that I think that you can get from school is gaining respect for your authority. Because in real life, especially when you first start out when you actually like go into real life and leave your school bubble or your little community that you see at school or whatever, like that's when life is actually gonna hit you. And there's gonna be people that have already been working in the game of life for a long time, so they're gonna be like your superiors or your authority. And whether that's in social status and wealth, or whether that's in knowledge, you have to know how to respect them, but also kind of gain the knowledge or the status like that they have. Because the easiest way to get through life is through other people's mistakes and from getting other people's knowledge. Like having a mentor might be the best thing that will ever serve you in your whole life. Because let's say you're trying to get to know more about math, or you're trying to learn more about dropshipping, whatever subject you can think of. If you go to a mentor who's already succeeded in that game, you can avoid so many of the little mistakes that will set you so far back, and just kind of like get a head start over everyone else who does not have that same advantage. The third benefit that I see that a lot of people can get from school is discipline. It's still a little bit related to time management, but think about it. A lot of the subjects, to be honest, most of you don't like anything you do at school when it comes like in terms of work. Yeah, when it's like gym time or lunchtime, and when it's time to hang out with your friends, it's pretty fun. But when it's time to actually do the work that they give you, whatever it is, math, science, whatever it is, to be honest, it's just really boring. So to condition yourself to do that work regardless, it definitely gives you some type of discipline. And I feel like if you just put that discipline, like let's say you built up 10% discipline from going to school, right? Of like your potential discipline. If you put that 10% discipline into something that you actually have a passion for, something that you like, and something that you know will impact the world in a positive way, I think the amount of work you can get done would be so much more than the work that you do in school. So like let's say you do like 2 hours of work at school every day, like of genuine work. If you put that into something you like, something you know actually has a positive impact, and something that you genuinely interested in, that 2 hours I feel like would be so much more, and the amount of time that you put of work that you put into it will be so much more efficient, and will give you so much more output. And I feel like the last major benefit that school gives a lot of people is social competence, because school in a lot of ways socializes us into the real world again. And although a lot of people grow up antisocial, and they just end up actually not being socially competent, if you actually like train yourself, and it's kind of like training yourself inside school to like make friends, get into relationships, connections, talk with people, get out of your comfort zone, you can really grow a big sense of social competence compared to everyone else that you know. So you can be above average when it comes to social competence and your social skills, which will definitely serve you in any aspect of your life for the rest of your life. So the actionable step that I had for you in this video is to think of any of those 4 skills that I mentioned and see which of them do you like the most. Like if you had to rate yourself on all 4 out of 10, I just want to see like on your time management, how would you rate your time management out of 10? And be honest. Your respect for authority, like I guess, yeah, how could you rate that out of 10? Your discipline, how would you rate that out of 10? And then your social skills, how would you rate your social skills out of 10? And kind of think about how you can improve any of those. Like for example, social skills, how could you improve your social skills? Yeah, that was all I had to say in this video. And if you wanted to watch my ultimate gym guide for the beginners, then I'll leave that right here.